Hello everyone, this is Godzilla1 and I'm back with another toy review, and this review will be of, and this is an extremely long, excessive title, Transformers Siege War of Cybertron Trilogy Optimus Prime Galaxy Upgrade version, which is the leader class version of Optimus Prime from this toy line. That name is excessively long, and I don't know why they came up with one that long, but that's what we got. Anyway, this is basically a new version of the old Transformers Cybertron Optimus Prime slash Transformers Galaxy Force Galaxy Convoy, which is one of my favorite designs for an Optimus Prime ever. That design is just so cool, and it's a lot of people's favorite design, so I'm glad we finally got another version of it that, you know, is in a big size class, because the original one goes for extremely high prices on the aftermarket. Like, I am not kidding there. And, of course, there's always those eBay people who decide to take every tiny little piece of a figure and sell it individually, which always gets on my nerves. But anyway, here we have it, and before we get into him, we will get a look at the cool, noteworthy part of the packaging, which is this really cool picture of him in his fully armored mode, going all Alpha Strike on some poor fool. And then on this side we have the little artwork, which looks like a movie poster. Like, this really looks like a movie poster. Sorry I can't really get a better shot of it, but this box is huge. Anyway, that is the box. This is the figure, and he looks really cool. He is a fire truck, a Cybertronian fire truck, which automatically means a lot of details that would be out of place on an Earth fire truck make perfect sense on him. Like the fact he suspiciously, the front half looks like a semi-truck. Nice painted grille. Nice front bumper there. This is a remold slash heavy retool of the Ultra Magnus from the same toy line. Got some guns there, which are removable. Some nice tech detailing. The wheels here aren't painted, but that's because the wheels are back here in this version, so those would just be kind of superfluous to be painted. Nice mechanical details on the side here. The big water cannons up here, which are nicely decked out in silver paint and really heavily detailed. Nice little tech details all over everything. That is one thing I do like with this figure, is there is detail absolutely everywhere. And we're obviously going to be legs later on, but again, Cybertronian, so we won't harp on them too much. I wish that these could slide in, or there was an extra set of wheels here, but there's not, and there's really nothing I can do about it. It still looks good. I like the translucent headlights, because they don't do that as often as they used to. And if you look closely, there's a lot of tech details on the windshield, which I really do appreciate. Even details in here. A customizer would probably have a field day with this guy. But anyway, that is his base vehicle mode. It looks really cool. It rolls, obviously. Rolls pretty well, actually. And, of course, you know, he does have... One thing with the original Cybertron Optimus Prime is he technically had two vehicle modes, which we will get into. But first we're going to take off his accessories, which are these two ginormous guns. And we can also take off this little gun from the top part of that. Nicely decked out in silver paint. And the fun thing about these, though, is that they can combine into a bigger gun if you want them to, which I always appreciate. Take the other gun off, and we will begin transforming him into his separate robot mode. I mean, his separate vehicle mode, rather. And to do that, you want to pop these off so you can take them out of this rudder here. And pop the wings off of his legs. And then detach him, this tabbed into the spine right there. And then just get everything back into place, and you have his little semi-truck, which reveals some more detailing back here with the legs. Of course, he has visible hands, which is unfortunate, but I think there was probably room to flip them in. They just didn't want to for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, he still rolls. He is a semi-truck, which was one of the big nice features with the original Cybertron Optimus, that he had the traditional semi-truck if he did not like the fire truck, which I really do appreciate. And I appreciate that that's here, but that just comes with the Ultra Magnus mold, but that kind of made it a good one to remold into Optimus Prime. Not many new details for this, except, you know, you just got these back here, and these wheels are now revealed. So we're not going to stay in this mode too long. It's just a nice little bonus. Another nice little bonus, though, is that these guns can tab in, essentially, here, here. You can tab them in up here on the side. You tab them in back here. So you've got tons of places to put weapons on this guy in his vehicle mode. Even in this vehicle mode, he's got places back here, places right here, places up there. And that's a good thing because the gimmick of this toy line is, of course, the Target Masters. So that is a really nice feature that he has all these places to plug in weapons. Anyway, let's move on to, and of course there's a car deciding to be very loud in the background, thank you. Let's just move on to his base robot mode. You want to flip out these heels from the bottom of his feet. Unpeg these. They do peg in right here in his pelvis area. Some nice ratchets as we move everything down. And make him too tall for my camera, so let's get up here. And you can get a bit of a girl walk mode if that's your thing. Once you rotate this section around, like so, it helps to pull that down. Pop that section open, flip the head out, and this scares me though because this is translucent plastic, and I don't like that they use that for the tabs. But it is what it is. Snap that back into place, then unpeg the arms. They peg in like right in back here, which can make it a bit of a pain to get him back into vehicle mode. And then flip his fists around. If you pulled that up, put it back down. Before you move this back into place, you want to move this fanny pack up into a backpack, then just pop everything back, and there you have Optimus Prime in his base robot mode. And I will be the first one to say he is a bit pudgy looking. He does kind of resemble the Energon Optimus, which a lot of people call Fatimus Prime. I personally didn't mind that one so much, but yeah, he definitely looks a bit on the pudgy side, doesn't he? But not much we can do about it. We can get a good look at his head, which is, I believe, the same one Ultra Magnus comes with. Not much difference there. Some nice riveting on the shoulders, which I do appreciate. Even some detail on the bottom of his arms, which is very nice. It's, very clean. Like the backpack, he does have a backpack, but it's very snug to the back. And not much detail we didn't see in his semi-truck mode, but enough detail that it shows that he had some attention put into him specifically for his base robot mode, which is nice. Of course, he can have his gun if you want him to. He can hold his ridiculously oversized cannons that honestly do look ridiculous in his hand. But you can, of course, if you prefer, peg them into his arm like that, which I think looks much better. And that's, base functionality. Let's move on to articulation. Head is on a ball joint. Get some nice, a little bit of nice up and down motion. Arms are full 360. Go out that far. That does pop out, but it pops back in right. It can go up that high. Has full 360 at the bicep. Fist rotates. A little over 90-degree forearm elbow movement. Waist rotation, which is rare on a lot of figures, so nice that he has it. I'm glad he has it. And, nice ratchet to hips. And the hips do go out that far. And a lot of people did have trouble with the hips on at least the first few waves of this figure being extremely loose. Thankfully, mine don't have that problem. And if I bounce him right, can I pull it off? Yeah, he can pull, and just to show my hands are right here, he can pull off that pose, which I like. So, yeah, apparently, I might just have good QC, or they might have fixed the problem. Your mileage may vary on that one. He does have a hip swivel, which is a little limited by its concealed nature, but it does work fairly well. 90-degree knee bend, and one nice thing, ankle tilts, which are always nice to see included. So, even though he's a little pudgy, he has a lot of really nice articulation, which is always welcome. Now, this is where we would normally go into his super mode, but first some size comparisons. Here is a MLP figure from the Guardians of Harmony line if you want to do some weird crossover, which I would be totally in favor of. There are a few actually really good ones actually out there in the fanfiction community. And, okay, the real one a lot of people want to see. Him and Beast Hunter's Optimus Prime, who also seem to be a reference to the Cybertron Optimus. You'll have to forgive mine. Mine's hips are extremely loose for some reason. Yeah, he's not the same height as a Voyager, at least not a Beast Hunter's Voyager, but he's still fairly big. I'd say he's between Deluxe and Voyager size in this form. But yeah, that's the size comparisons. Before we go into his full combined mode, though, I do want to show something off, which will kind of ironically begin the transformation into combined mode, but this is the hardest part of the whole thing, by the way, is just getting everything unpegged in, because this is an extremely tight connection, and I'm always afraid I'm going to break it. So be careful, that is an extremely tight connection point. But in here, we have these, which are, the shoulder pads for the super mode, but these were also his base shoulder pads in the original figure. So if I slide these down over his shoulders, like so, as they would normally be, I think that actually really helps his profile and makes him look a lot less pudgy. This is personally how I display him whenever I have him in his base robot mode, and I think it looks a lot better. And just generally helps his profile and makes him look a bit more like the original was. But that's just a quick little thing. Let's get into the actual Optimus Prime Super Mode combination. To start, you want to flip up his heel spurs, fold his arms back. It helps to, well, you have to move this whole thing forward anyway to get the backpack to slide down here like it's supposed to be. But it also helps to, of course, get this whole section flipped out so you can flip his head back up and tuck everything away. And then just snap everything back into place. You want to take these off, and yeah, parts forming. Yeah, but it's fine. There's no real way they could get this replicated any other way with the Ultra Magnus mold. And, of course, I had to drop it, but one nice thing is these are tabbed in two places with this tab and this peg, so it is very secure. Then next you want to take these big parts that were the rear section of the trailer and just slide the legs in, flip out these massive, massive heel spurs, and do the same thing over there. It's just a very simple connection, just slide it in. Very hard to mess up. There you have his super boots, which any anime super robot needs to have. And then finally, this is a bit more complicated. You want to peg the gun back in if you took it out. And you want to, okay, this is complicated, a little messy. You want to unpeg this from this part. Flip this through. You don't want to flip these, you want to make sure these are flipped out of the way, because they're going to have to fold down on top of all this. Collapse everything in, then flip these up. So don't, flip those up first because you won't be able to get to comfortably rest. Rotate these up and fold it over the shoulder, like so. Flip this whole section up, flip this out, and peg everything in to the back like so. And flip everything down. These will peg into place, and there you have Optimus Prime Super Mode! Or Optimus Prime Galaxy Upgrade, if you want to call them that. And you can, with these, you've got options. You can, I like to peg them in onto his arms, like right here, because they fold really flush. But traditionally, they would be on his, these would be the knee sort of cannons he had in the original, so let's put them down here. They look nice down there. You've got options. You can put them up on the wings. You can put them anywhere you have a peg, and they look fairly nice no matter where you put them. So no problem there. But that is him in his full super mode, and he looks awesome. This guy looks so cool. I love this guy. Not many details we didn't see in the base robot mode. They're just rearranged where they are. I mean, the base vehicle mode, they're just rearranged here. But they look really cool. Like, he gains a lot of height too, but everything is still where it was, but it now looks really cool. The only new real part we did not see at all are that these tires on the wings are now painted in on this side, now that they're wings, of course, because that's where they were in the original toy, so it makes them look better that way and breaks up the red. But now we have, of course, the shoulder pads, which were in my altered one, but now you can get a nice up-close look of them, which they do look nice. They're really nicely detailed with lots of little tech detailing all over them, and of course the Autobot logo. Moved into my camera there. And I like that the faux windshield on the chest is very technological and has a lot of molded-in details, which makes it look really cool. And of course we have his new Super Mode head, which looks awesome. Also, one thing to note about his base mode's head is it didn't have the mouth that the original Cybertron Optimus had, which I think it looks better without the mouth, to be honest with you. But he does look very much like the original in terms of his head sculpt. Of course, you got the shoulder pauldrons, or the back pauldrons, whatever you want to call them. And he looks really cool. Now, in terms of articulation, not much has changed. He has all the same articulation in the arms. You can move his wings back to get them out of the way so his arms can still move. There's, of course, a limit because he's got wings back there, but his new head sculpt has enough articulation that he can actually look up for a flying pose, which I really do appreciate. A lot of times characters will clearly have wings and stuff, but not be able to fly. I do like that they cut this out so you can get that. But yeah, I do appreciate that. He can actually get into a flying pose properly. Waist joint still works. Oh, one small change. This is supposed to fold down, flip around, and go back in. Not much of a change, but it's a noticeable one. Knee is not affected at all in its articulation by the new armor. And he has even deeper ankle tilts. Ridiculously deep ankle tilts, actually. I have no idea why you would ever want his ankle to go that deep, but it is an option if you so choose. So he has all the articulation he had in his base robot mode, just a lot more cool stuff he can do because, well, that. But there is actually more articulation in this mode. The cannons on his back can actually fold down and flip all the way around, so he can grab onto them, and there is actually a slider here so you can maneuver it. So he can, like the original, undersling his ginormous cannons to blast some Decepticons, which I really appreciate. And if that's not enough guns for you, you can, of course, have these wherever you want them and have them fold up. So he can go full Alpha Strike on whatever enemy happens to be harassing humanity this day. Which I think is really cool, because that was one of the defining features of the original, is the underslung cannons. And these actually also form cannons right here. So he has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guns pointed your direction just in his base configuration. And you've still got these shoulder ones up here. You still got these ports right here to put him in, and he does have ports on the bottom of his feet like a lot of figures in this line, so you can have him stand on things. So he can be completely decked out in weaponry, and you've still got these ports up here on the wings to put stuff. So you can have this guy just bristled into the teeth with weaponry. As for a new size comparison, here he is. He now is a good bit bigger than a Voyager. I'd still say he would be a small leader, but he's still fairly large. And here is Shining Armor, who is way down there. So if you want to have your weird crossover fanfiction, I'm not going to say weird because it's actually a really cool idea to me. You can. I think these two would actually get along, probably. But anyway, that is it. My thoughts, if you have the original Cybertron Optimus Prime, you don't need this guy. That figure is amazing, but it's expensive on the aftermarket. This is a very good budget representation for your collection. That's why I got him, and I think he works really well in that capacity. He's not perfect, but he's a good representation of the design. And this was always one of my favorite designs, so I'm stoked to have a version of him. Anyway, that was my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.